Wow. Just wow. Northwood did an absolutely amazing job with this one. Heavy Duty is one of the best updates SCP-SL has had in a long time. The new Heavy Containment Zone makes SL feel like a totally different game, and there are so many different reasons why. Let's begin with these bad boys. These pair of goggles are an SCP item, SCP-1344. You wear them and it shoves these needles straight through your eyeballs. Why the fuck would you want that? Because once you wear them, you will be able to see where people are. Through walls. This color will even change depending on what team they're on. This addition to the game does a lot to deter camping, distribute intel, and keep you from getting lost. Don't take them off though, because if you do... yeah, for the most part, it seems pretty lore accurate too. I guess the couple second timing for you to regain your vision is off from the 3 to 5 minutes it takes according to the actual document. But come on, man. You don't really think a containment breach would conclude in 15 minutes, do you? The only thing I'd say I don't like about SCP-1344 and SL is the detected sound that plays when a user of them spots you. I understand why they did this, it's so the player knows when they were found with them. Honestly, I think the goggles would be just fine without that knowledge. I think it's kind of an unnecessary nerf. It also starts to feel lore inaccurate, which is something all of you know I don't like. There are particular weapons in SL that are very strong, very special, and up until this point have only been available through gambling in 914. Jailbird, Particle Disruptor, and more. This was a very big problem because it made them inaccessible after decontamination and relied on an inconsistent process. There are also people who've expressed concerns about 914 camping, but I don't have particularly strong views on that. Now that we have these special lockers to store some of these weapons, they can be obtained consistently and will be in play much more often moving forward. Love seeing it. Alright, here comes the meat and potatoes of the update. Heavy containment. All of it. The entire zone got overhauled for the better. Countless environment obstacles for hiding and taking cover, completely new look and feel, but most importantly, a change in door spawning. Unlike previously where you'd see door after door on every chunk of the map, now you will find many corridors completely open, and occasionally a new type of door called bulkheads. I love it. All those games with opening and closing doors gets fucking annoying. This nerfs SCP-079 drastically. I think that's for the better. People who know what they're doing with computer are some of the most dangerous players in the entire game. It also significantly buffs the micro. I've always had trouble getting much value out of the micro because the SCPs just close all the doors behind them when I'm charging it. Now that there aren't any doors to close, I can effectively close the distance between us. This is a decision so amazing that I'm starting to reevaluate how I'm gonna approach my SCP game with map design. By far the best example of how great this zone overhaul is for the game is the Alpha Warhead Room. Nuke Room has always been one of the most frustrating areas in the entire game. It is a camping hotspot. The only way in and out is this single elevator. Those inside the room can just throw grenades right at the elevator's entrance, and the room is so small that you can just camp the windows regardless. Those outside of it can just sit and wait until they eventually have to leave the room. Not anymore. The nuke room is now so much larger, has so many different pathways, and even has a second elevator. You can have a whole war just in this room and get unpredictable results. Heavy Duty is a net positive for SL. Northwood Studios cooked with this one, and we all ought to give them a thank you. Thank you, Northwood. SL is at the point where I'm actually starting to have fun with it again. Even before Heavy Duty, I've been playing a lot of SL lately to get inspiration for my game. Over time, it kinda just grew on me, and I've asked myself some questions about my future as a result. For those of you new to the channel, I've been working on my own SCP game for over 4 months now in the Godot Engine. One of the main reasons for me starting this project is because there were a lot of things in SL that I wasn't happy with. Since I was already learning the Godot Engine for other projects, I decided that instead of hoping for Northwood to listen to me, a stranger on the internet with only 1K subs, I was going to take matters into my own hands and develop my own SCP multiplayer game in my vision. I'm proud of what I've gotten done with it so far, given that I'm very new to game development and the other projects I need to make time for. However, now that the game has gotten so much better with Heavy Duty, it forces me to ask myself, is this still worth it? Claude, you've already got enough on your plate. Now that SL has become something you're a lot more happy with, do you really still think this SCP game of yours is worth the hundreds of hours in work and thousands of dollars in assets completing it would require? It is a necessary question for me to ask, so I've thought about it. Northwood has recently published a Q&A regarding the future of SL's development, and while some of their answers sound really nice and give me something to look forward to, others put me on edge. For the first example, they're intending on adding at least one new playable SCP. Hell yeah, love hearing it. However, which SCP? They claim they need to prototype before revealing them. I'm already unhappy with some of the existing SCPs, so my concern here is, what if they add a new SCP and I don't like how that new SCP is designed? I'll give them a chance. In addition to that, they were asked about the possibility of AI-controlled SCPs, which they claimed wasn't out of the question, but have no current plans for them, and would only do so if it didn't make sense for a human to control it. Let's be real, boys. This is about the 049 zombies. You all keep killing yourselves when Plague Doctor revives you, because you just can't stand playing as a zombie. I think they're fine now because of their last update, but for some people, nothing will be enough. For unrelated reasons, having AI-controlled SCPs and humans is an extremely important idea I have for my game, and it disappoints me to see Northwood be so dismissive to it. The details of that system would take a whole essay to explain, so I'm not going to get into it here. The part of this Q&A that bothered me more than anything else is their answer to the femur breaker coming back. They aren't sure. It sounds like they would like to, but they don't know how to do that in a balanced way. There was a period of several years where I boycotted SL completely, and removing the femur breaker was the reason for it. For a franchise all about special containment procedures, the femur breaker was one of only 2 in the entire game. And they butchered it. I know exactly how I'm going to return this beloved feature, and I'm going to be making a video about that in the near future. It's understandable why Northwood removed the femur breaker. It was creating problems in SL. Getting something like this right requires someone with a very creative mind. I hope I can be that. I've also taken into account that SL is not the only reason I'm doing this. There are things in other SCP games that I'm not totally happy with, such as 5K. No amount of SL getting better will fix those. The development of my SCP game is also serving as a very important learning experience. For the first time ever, I'm learning how this shit works. The knowledge I'm gaining about code, art, etc. is all going to be very important for my other projects. If Northwood were to give me absolutely everything I want out of SL, then yeah, moving on to other things would be worth considering. However, given the Q&A and the fact I don't speak for the entire community, I'm not going to count on that happening. I think it is very important that we get the most value out of SCP's Creative Commons license. Anyone can make an SCP game. Nobody owns the IP. We should really take advantage of that. If the development of my SCP game interests you, there are several devlogs on my channel where I talk about some of it. I encourage you to check those out.